Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20ZoneTv. It's a great and glorious day. I've got the boys from West Ham Reunited in the house who are flying high at the minute. Done some good shows on there. That is Andy, and that there is Jazz.
Yeah, he's an object. He's an object. He's an object.
Trouble.
Lads, before we get into it, how are you both?
I'm still on cloud nine, mate. After last night, I'm literally me and Jazz, like we speak to each other like ridiculous. Probably at least once an hour, a message or something goes, and I went to bed with a smile on my face, and I woke up with a smile on the face. That the fact of interviewing someone of Chris's stature, what he's done, and to be honest, me and Jazz said it as well. Obviously, you'll be coming on to do yours. Even talking to Scott beforehand, we've got a lot of time for. Like we're one big family, and it's amazing, mate. Amazing time.
Jazz, how did you feel, mate? Chris Ekabusi, you've probably seen him run around many tracks and do things in the past. And now you're interviewing him.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a pleasure to deal with all the way from first making touch with him and then dealing with his PA. It's been smooth, and you don't know what you're going to get. Usually you don't expect any reply back, but it's been fine. And he knows a lot of the channel guys. He's done a lot of stuff with a lot of them. And I think what was nice about yesterday was reading the comments from other channel people and saying, and subscribers saying that was an amazing interview you guys done. And I think that means more to us than anything else. I think when other people doing the same thing we're doing, or certainly following all of our channels, saying we really enjoyed that, because we're just amateurs, mate. We don't know what we're doing half the time. We're just going out there and just having a good chin wag, and we don't know how it's going to turn out the other end, but it's good to hear people enjoy that. Yeah.
No, that's it, mate. That's what it's all about. If you can bring joy to others, then it shows you're doing a good job, mate. But we'll get into it. The Premier League ratings is here for the West Ham Reunited boys, and we're going to start off with Jazz's most favourite player, and that is Lucas Fabianski. I'm going to let Jazz take this away first. Take it away, Jazz. Give me a rating out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's been the main goalkeeper, 11 appearances. I'm just kind of going to have a quick look at the goals conceded column quickly. But what I have noticed, isn't it, that we don't seem to, sometimes we don't really, we don't keep clean sheets, and we don't let them have too many shots on target most of the time. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the table. Okay, here we go. So we have let in 13 goals in 11 games. And that's about similar to nearly all the. I mean, Southampton have let in 12, Tottenham have let in 16. So that's kind of neither here or there. Looking at the league, certainly in goals scored, we've done well. Fabianski, I think he's done enough to keep his place. I think, I think sometimes we haven't exposed him really for me, and it could be mental block with him, where I'm looking for a mistake in him, which is not good for me, because every game I'm saying, and what I see is that, he sometimes doesn't come out for the ball, and then the defenders are in two minds: should we clear it, or they're thinking he's not going to come for it. He doesn't like kicking the ball, so he rolls it out to our fullbacks, and I think constantly we're under pressure straight away instead of clearing it. I look at the Everton goalkeeper. I know he does a lot of things wrong, but and even Areola, they are rapid in around the area. They're kind of flying in the air, grabbing things, punching things. And with Fabianski, he's a good shot stopper, but I'm just worried, like a shot that's kind of a bit away from him, he's not going to get there. I think there was the Brentford one that he just couldn't get back in time due to kind of being a bit slow. There's one or two deflections he couldn't do. There was the Brentford winner that went straight back at them. Maybe he could have done better then. I'm just nitpicking, but that's just me. I'm just because I've seen Areola. I just want to see a bit more of him. Really, I don't want the loan to end and we sign Sam Johnson because he's a free transfer, which could happen, and we didn't quite see Areola the way we should have. So for me, this has got to be his last season as a number one of a top 6 team. I think Fabianski. When you look at all the other teams, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, certainly Arsenal have surprised me how well that goalkeeper has settled in there. I think he's okay, but it's catching up with him slowly. I think, So I'll give him 7. Yeah,
7 out of 10 for Jazz.
Yeah,
Andy, what's your rating for Fab?
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with Jazz there. Actually, a 7. First couple of games of the season, obviously me and Jazz were up there at Newcastle, and I was just like, he don't move. He don't move. What's he doing? What's he doing? What's going on? And then, in my opinion, should have done better with the Gallagher goal when we played Palace. Surprised he played in Zagreb on the opening
Yeah.
day. I was like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, maybe Areola's going to be taken over from him. But me and Jazz, I've been worried about his distribution. But to be honest, the last 4 games he's played, he hasn't really done a foot wrong, and he's actually pulled out some good saves. Watkins springs to mind, that header. I was right behind that. I was looking at it, and you saw it, and I went, "What a save!" I know it was straight at him, but he done well with Mane stuff. Tottenham, he's getting the extra. I was going to give him a 6, but I'll give him the extra point from when he done at Tottenham in the last minute when he come out and I was like, "What?" I thought he was going to run out the area at one point. He was running that quick, but yeah, he still worries me. But like Jazz said, you can't change a winning formula. So, but I'll give him a 7.
7 out of 10 for Fabianski. Moving on to Vladimir Kefal. Obviously, he's been injured. Got injured against Manchester United, I believe, and he hasn't got his space back since. I'll start with Vandy on this one. Give me a rating.
I think I'll give him an 8, mate. He's what you get with Sufal. You know you're going to get. Obviously, he's got a couple of assists to his name already this season. The one for Mikel Antonio. The one thing I will say is I know we'll probably come on to him later, but he excites me more going forward than I know Johnson's got his goal, but the one thing you know with Sufal, as soon as he gets it out of his feet, he's going to cross the ball into danger. But I think that will come with confidence with Johnson. Yeah, solid. Unfortunate he got his injury to Matic, but from Matic, I should say. But no, he's solid, mate. What you get with him, I'll give him an 8.
8 out of 10 for Andy. Jazz, Vladimir Kefal.
Yeah, played 9 games. Yeah, what I like about him, he's quite aggressive, isn't he? He likes to bomb forward and really have a good physical battle with the opposition. And Johnson is carving out a career for himself and a personality, and we'll see what that is really. But so Kefal, like you said, yeah, he got injured a sort of Tottenham game, I think, around that time. He didn't play in the Tottenham game, Genk or Everton. Brentford was the last game, I think. So I'll give him. Let me think, because he doesn't play bad when he plays. So Kefal, yeah, give him 8. Yeah, I think he's been okay. Yeah, I think he's been okay. Give him 8, I think. Yeah.
8 out of 10 for Vladimir Kefal. Moving on to this man who's by far been the most impressive for me over the last 2 years, really. And I'll start off with Jazz. Jazz, give me a rating for Aaron Cresswell.
Yeah, we'll give him 9. Yeah, we'll give him 9. Yeah. He certainly, in terms of crossing and assist, was a little bit behind the standard he set last season. But the fact that he's virtually played every game has shocked me, really.
Jazzy has. It's 16 games, 16 starts.
I didn't think he had it in him, so I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes to get these players as fit as they are. And he certainly doesn't look like he loses out due to pace, which has happened in the past. I don't know whether he's learned how to position himself a bit better, but he's certainly, like at Liverpool, I was worried about him, but he certainly wasn't exposed, I don't think, that much. He looked okay, so yeah, 9. I think we'll keep it up, mate. Yeah, he's getting better with age, isn't he? Like wine.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, mate. Andy, take it away, mate.
I'm giving him a 10. I'm giving him a straight in there. I've always loved Aaron. I'm a huge fan of his. Obviously, I know he'll tell me it's a shot, but I know it was across the way. Newcastle obviously got the ball rolling, but his 4 assists, what he's done, them deliveries were delightful. That's a striker's dream, and I know we've got Mikel Antonio, Zuma, etc. But if we just had another striker who's even better than Antonio in the box, it's a dream. Like what Jazz said, the pace worried me. I'm not going to lie. I was like, is it? But I think he's just learnt from Stuart Pearce, Jazz. I don't know about you. Stuart Pearce was played on to his 40 with us, didn't he? And he didn't look out of position, so he's doing that. Yeah, strong 10 for me.
Strong 10 for Andy Marr was on Aaron Cresswell. Moving on to this man. New signing. I think he's been absolutely sensational since he's arrived. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, in my opinion. And when I done it with Jake the other day, I give him a 10 out of 10. I think that's what you want from your new signings to come in. Andy, I'll start off with you, mate. What's your rating for Kirk Zouma?
You're probably going to think, all right, it's mad to think that 11 games, or 11 games in the Premier League or whatever it is, and we're talking of players being outstanding. But yeah, I agree with you on there, mate. Zuma's been a 10 as well. Rolls Royce of a centre half. When we signed him, I know a few fans were like, "Why are we signing him?" But like what we've done with Sufal, like what Suchek's done, like what Bowen's done, it's proved everyone wrong, including Chelsea. In my opinion, biggest mistake they ever done was getting rid of him, because I know they've got Rudiger, but I think Zuma's the better one out of Rudiger. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased because I'm a West Ham fan, and he just proved Liverpool. Oh, Craig Dawson's coming up, no problem. I'll slip into the left centre back position and be as good as what I would be on the right. So yeah, 10 for me.
Yeah, totally agree with everything you just said there. Jazz, what do you make of Kirk Zouma? Is he one of the best signings West Ham's made defensively, Jazz, for a long time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we talk about Cresswell. When he came in under Sam, that was a great signing, you know. We bought so many dodgy players before that, and I thought Cressy was brilliant. He even after that first season, I think Liverpool was sniffing around, England were talking about him. So I think Zuma's got to be 10 for me. Yeah, he's fitted in really well, and he seems to be, like you said, when you look through the centre of the team, you know, he's very strong.
Jazz,
you've got Rice, Antonio, so really three strong people through the middle, I think, and I think, like you said, when you play next to someone like that, you step up your game as well, don't you? You don't want to let him down. And I think he's very vocal if you watch him. He's always shouting and pointing fingers and a bit of a captain material, you know. So I think we're quite lucky to have him. If you told me we were going to buy a Chelsea player in his prime a couple of years ago, I couldn't see it happening. But it just means, yeah, all the good things we're doing now externally, all the teams and players are kind of seeing that. And I think he's especially useful in, I know he hasn't played a lot of Europa games, but I think he'll bring a lot of good experience when we need it. When we because he's a champion, isn't he? A bit like Lingard, you know, that he knows how to win things, and the more winners we bring, the better. So 10 for me. Yeah, you can't. He hasn't put a foot wrong. I haven't seen anything. So and the goal as well, wasn't it? The much-awaited goal Andy was waiting for as well in the last game. So
yeah. He's been absolutely first class, mate. Absolute first class. Moving on to this man. He's obviously injured now. It looks like we don't know how long he's out for, but he's going to be out for a long time. I'll start off with Jazz. Give me a rating on Angelo Bonner, mate, for his time this season.
Yeah, I think there's one or two games at the beginning, but he's all settling well, and I've got to give him. Again, it's due to sort of age and how they're able to get their fitness up at that, you know, at what age they are. So I suppose I've got to give him a 9, I think. Yeah, he surprised me. Yeah, because every time you might be thinking Ogbener's perhaps coming to an end now, time for Duke to show up, and he's kept Duke out the team, and that's kind of, you know, his game's gone up a notch. So I think him and Zouma formed a really good partnership, one of the best in the Premiership, I think. Two good wise heads and reading the game really well. So yeah, Ogbener, I think, as well, and he's chipped in with a goal as well. So yeah, give him 9. Yeah,
Andy. Angelo Bonner.
See, this is hard for me because I'm going to give him a 7, and the only reason why I'm going to give him a 7 is he's gone missing a couple of times in the games. Brentford springs to mind when I think that's his worst game I think he's probably had since last season, and it's just, if he didn't make that silly challenge, Brentford wouldn't have got that goal, and maybe we could have went on to win. Including that seems like I'm being very harsh, but everything else he's done, he's been okay. But I think no disrespect, I think even like Baptiste will look good next to Zouma, because Zouma will get him out of trouble, and I think that's what it is. Like, our defence was there, and now Zuma's come in, it's all the way up there. It's just been a confidence boost. But like you said, it's just a couple of off games. But that's me maybe being a bit harsh. But I'll give him a 7.
I think what we noticed is that Newcastle game, I think perhaps Ogbener and Dawson together, it's not a good mix, is it, sometimes? I mean, I'm not sure if they've ever played together. I don't know.
Yeah, so thing is first. Sorry, so Zuma's first game was obviously Zagreb and then Man United. So yeah, before then, our defence was it better. So that's probably why it springs to mind, Jazz. Like you said, his bad performances.
I agree with everything what Andy said there, 100,000%. I think a lot of the games Zuma got him out of trouble. He played. Don't get me wrong, Bonner, we love him, but sometimes he does go missing. I agree with what Andy said there about he does go missing. And it ain't just me who sees that either, but yeah, I do agree. Moving on to this man, Thomas Suchek. Now, this is going to be interesting because he hasn't been mustered this year, but what is your thoughts, Andy, on this? And it's Andy's turn to go first.
I love him, mate. I know. It's just his energy. It's just absolute energy. I know, like you said, it's like the Craigs brothers. You can say anything like that. They come as a duo of the rice and potato salad. And when one of them's, but since not this international break, the last international break, he's really stepped it up for me. He's like, I know. He probably thinks I know I've played shit. I need to. So yeah, no, I'm feeling. I'm going to give him an 8. And that's because the amount of games he's played. He's not got down. He's been hurt. He's been knocked up. He get back up again, like the 5 song. Like he is. And I think him not playing, we noticed that in Genk. As soon as he come on, Rice was like, I can take charge here and do what I want. So yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8.
An 8 for Thomas Suchek for Andy. Jazz, what's your rating on Mr. Suchek?
7 for me. I know he's not there for the goals. Yeah, no goals, and I don't know if it's because he's playing next to the best player in that position in the world, and it shows you up sometimes. Because I'm so spoilt with Rice doing 20 things together at the same time, and perhaps that's not fair on someone like that. When you play someone next to him, you're gonna look a little bit not good, isn't it? So, I'll give him a 7, only because he's got high standards and he's one of the best in the game as well. And I think one of the other big channels was saying we talk about Rice leaving and clubs circling him. There are certainly clubs that will snatch Suchek off us, isn't it? You know. Got to be careful about that. We keep looking at Rice. We want to keep an eye on 1 or 2 others as well, you know. Yeah.
So it's a 7 for Jazz on Thomas Suchek. Moving on to this one, this man, captain of the team. I think I know where this is going to go, but Jazz, you can go first on this one. Take it away, mate.
100, please.
Jazz, is he the best player? Like, is he like for all the years you've watched West Ham? Is he the best midfielder that West Ham's had? Like for going back to Billy Bonds.
I know I look old sometimes. I never saw Bonds live. I mean, I was literally God. He played in '86, I think '87. He played in '87 when he's probably my age, Billy Bonds. Yeah. So I didn't see Bonds in his prime or anything like that on a regular. You see snapshots on screen, but that's no way to judge. We see him week in, week out. You know, we season ticket holders. We can see games on YouTube. We didn't have that sort of advantage. So I would say the only player I can think of, and again, it's just purely doing some research, it'd probably be Devonshire. I think I heard he was on another level. A lot of people, Frank Mac, Mark Ward, world class, mate. You go, if Frank could finish, he'll be like, you know. So I think Dev is probably the one that probably used to be 7, 8 every game. I think that's the only one I can think of. I know Paul Ince is very controversial, but I do know what one hell of a player he was, and we didn't have him for too long. Apart from that, Payet, he blew it in 1 season. It would have been very hard for Payet to copy that in the 2nd season, I think. Rice being so young as well. I can't. We talk about Zuma. I don't think I've seen Rice do too many things. He just keeps. And most of those performances, Andy can vouch for it. They've been away from home when he's really coming to his own, and just ripped the opposition apart. I remember like Villa, a couple of other games. And so, yeah, it's got to be 10. And in my proper memory, no, I can't see anyone. And for that matter, I mean, I mean, I had a lot of time for Steven Gerrard. Talking about other players, I had a lot of time for him. I thought he was very similar.
Complete midfielder, isn't he? Complete midfielder.
Single-handedly, yeah. And you talk about our 06 final. There's no way they would have won it without him. Or the Champions League final, none of them. So he was very. I mean, Lampard's got the goals, but I think I'd have Gerrard on my side. I think if I went to war or something like that. Yeah, Rice is incredible. Yeah, number one for me, mate. Since I started watching properly away from school and stuff. Yeah, amazing player, mate.
Andy, I think I know what you're going to say, but give me your rating.
We're all drooling, mate. We're all drooling over Rice.
Like I said, I've been fortunate. I've been to quite a few games this year, and the one that got me the most was Aston Villa away. Every single goal he scored. I know I've not really. I think I watched a bit of it back on Sky, so I'll not really see it because obviously the cameras go away. After every goal we scored down our end with the away fans, he's going like that. He's kissing it. He's going like that. Like that. That's after we scored. Everyone else has gone away. He's the last one there. He's going like that. And at the end of the game, when he took his shirt off and before he took his shirt off, kissing the badge, clapping us, bowing down, and as he walked away. Literally, you could see the emotion in his eyes. Like, he knew. And we was just singing Declan. Like, literally. I have never been so excited about this West Ham's like ever. I know we had the glimpses the last year at the Bowen, but we just had 3 or 4 good players, in my opinion. And that the energy got us through. But this, we've got 10, 11 gems in every position. But for Deck, no. Captain, leader. I know Legend gets jumped around quite a lot, but if he stays with us for another 2 years, he'll be a legend. At the minute, he's there, but the way he's playing, I can't see him leaving personally. And what a privilege to see him every week. It's just outstanding.
So, what is your rating of Declan Rice, Andy?
About 5. No, you know what it is. It's a 10 for me, man.
10 out of 10 for Deckers. I must admit, just before I carry on, I totally agree. Ever since he's become captain, I think he's become a next level of a player, and I think he's thriving. That he's the main man at West Ham, and he's driving the team on as a unit. Long may that continue. He's been absolutely first class. Moving on to this man, Nicola Flessage. He started his debut at Southampton, coming on as a sub. We've seen bits of him. What's your rating for him, Andy, to start off with on Nicola Flessage, mate?
I'll give him a 6. The reason why I give him a 6 is it's credit for the team that he's not playing. Moyes doesn't change a winning formula. So when like Brentford, I know that was probably wrong, but if we get a draw, we'd probably say that the same as Man United. If the game finishes 2-2, like he made the subs late. So I think you've got to give credit to the team. Man City, I was there. That's the best game I've seen him. He wants to. The one thing you will say is he's not shied away. He's not like he's on the pitch and he runs away or runs into the where all the players are. He's trying to, and he was on the turn. He was looking up. And the one thing I will say, I think I commented when you done it with Jake. He's not really played that much with the first team. I just think he's passing to blimmin' Andrei Yarmolenko, for example. I think that's a different level to a Jared Bowen who'll be making them forward runs what you would expect him to do. So, me personally, I think if he was 18 million, we wouldn't be giving him that much stick. But like you said, you can't control the transfer fee. But I still think he'll come good. It won't be yet, but I think he'll come good.
So it's a 6 out of 10 for Andy. Jez, are you like me? Are you critical on this man, or are you more relaxed?
I think we've got to give him a 5 because you only give below 5 if they've actually played and done bad, and he doesn't play and he hasn't done anything good. It's got to be 5. Yeah, I mean, I am concerned because of the value. You know, it is. I mean, I've seen football a long time, unless I'm missing something. If he came at 10 million, I would be happy because I can tell he's a really, really nice guy to have around the club, and he'll try. And But what I'm surprised about is I thought David and most managers look for pace and strength. But we'll see.
Sorry,
I've not
Jen.
really seen him.
Sorry, Chris. I just got the notification. Chris has just liked what I've done on Twitter. So the thing, do what Chris said, and he's just liked it on Twitter. Sorry, it just popped up as a notification. But sorry, Jazz.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen anything either way really. So it's got to be 5. And you do have a go at the board sometimes when they don't release the money. But if I was on the board, yeah, I don't know what I'd be thinking, mate. Yeah.
I agree with you, Jez. But I went with a 4 with him. I thought, really, let's be honest, Manuel Lanzini's getting in front of him, and that's saying something quite a lot, really. But he's got to do more. I agree with what Andy's saying, though. Once he plays with better players, will he become better? And let's hope he does for the price tag. But moving on to this man, Pablo Fornells, the man who's growing on me. I must admit, we had this debate last year with Ben Rama and Fornells. I must admit, Fornells is starting to grow on me a bit. I must admit. Jazz, I'll start off with you first, mate. What do you make of this Spaniard at our club?
Well, when David came in for his second spell, I just couldn't see a future for Fornells. I didn't know where he fitted in. I thought he was too small for our league, and there you go. So just keeps getting better and breaking into the Spain team. I mean, there you go. Not many times you got regulars sort of in our team from country like that. So I've got to give him 9. Yeah, I've got to give him 9. Keeps working hard and bringing more and more goals to his game, because I think last season he kept on, and now and again he still does, but not so often perhaps. He kind of used to just get a bit nervous in front of goal, I think, and make the wrong decision. So I think he's one of those where someone called, I don't know if it was our channel, is like the water carrier, isn't he, really? Like, actually, Chris was saying it. Yeah, you don't appreciate him, but the players sure do, and the manager. I think he's David Moyes, one of his favourite players. I think managers love players like that, and long may it carry on, I think. And if you've seen him, he's a pain for the other team, because they've tried to get at him. Tottenham tried to do him in twice, and other clubs are doing similar things. So he's definitely winding them up, I think, which is kind of good. And they do earmark him, and they do try to take him down, I've noticed. So yeah, about 9. Just proving everyone wrong, I think. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Pablo Fornells, Andy? 10 out of 10.
I just love him. The Cockney Iniesta. He's just unreal, mate. Absolutely unreal. Like, I'm just looking at his stats here. It just gets even better and better. Plays nearly 90 minutes all the time. Played 17 games, 4 goals and 2 assists, and pretty much every single goal he's a part of. He's doing something. He's hassling. He's doing everything like that. And sorry, I forgot to say, congratulations. He's baby boy Martin was born today. So
right.
That's why he was out of the Spain squad. He had no injury. The baby was born, and he'll be available. He said he's even said it. He said it'll be available for Saturday. So obviously that's yeah. Congratulations to him. But,
good timing, baby, in the international break. Well done.
but no, he's absolutely world class, and obviously we'll move on to the other ones. But the front 4 is just every single one of them this year is on a different level. So no, a 10 for me. He's, as Chris said last night as well, he's probably the player's player as well. When things are going bad, you got Fornells to get you out of the trouble, and I'm pleased for him for his goal we got against Liverpool as well. We love scoring that, and even his passion when he scores, what he gives, and that's all you want as a West Ham fan. Players put the effort in, so yeah. Definitely.
100% agree, mate. He's starting to grow on me. He wasn't my favourite player, but he's starting to get up there to where I do like his work rate. I must admit, I was very, very, very impressed with him against Liverpool. I thought Liverpool was a game where he would have to do something for me if we were going to get something out of the game, and he'd done everything for me. He was the best player on the pitch by a country mile. But moving on to this man, Saeed Benrahma. I'll start off with Andy. Give me your rating for Saeed, mate.
I was going to give him a 9, but I'm going to give him an 8. The reason why is he's been outstanding this season, heavily involved. His assist, obviously, Genk the other week, he just ripped him to shreds, which was ridiculous. But in a couple of games, in my opinion, he has gone missing. But I think the reason he might have not gone missing, but he's just set his standard up there. Started off with Newcastle, obviously, how well he done, and I think it was it the Tottenham game? He was Tottenham and Brentford spring to mind. I think it was Tottenham and Brentford. But apart from that, mate, he's been outstanding. Like you said, me and you had them. Like you said, but you was back in Ben, and I just said I said that on the comment with Jake. So I think he must have just not been doing something right on the training pitch for Moyes not to pick him, because obviously we know there's a talent there. But then he's come back since then. He looks stronger. He looks fitter. He looks angry, which with a flair play you need anger, and he's got that. And it's not. What, could you call it arrogant? Maybe it's arrogance. You could probably say. But yeah, since this season, mate, outstanding. But it was only just me being slightly critical a couple of games where I thought he might step up. He hasn't done, but.
I think 8's, that's what I rated him, funny enough. And I said that he just needs to add some more goals to his game and start running at people. And I did it, I got up to a 9 for me. But I totally agree with what you say, mate. He has gone missing in games, and I have criticised him when he has. But and I do agree with what you're saying there.
And the one thing I will say is, a couple of times when you see the likes of a Lanzini or someone coming on, 9 times out of 10 you think Ben Rama's coming off, and fair play to Moyes, he's actually kept him on. And that just sort of shuts the rumours up that it's not a Moyes player and all that crap. So that just proves it for me as well.
Yeah. Jazz, what's your rating, mate? Me and you had many debates last year about Mr. Ben Rama. How has your opinion changed now?
Yeah, I think he started on fire, didn't he? Goal every game. And obviously the confidence went up. And I'll give him an 8, I think. Yeah, he's kind of gone down a notch, but then he picked up in the Europa game again with a couple of goals. So I would have given him 7 if it wasn't for those 1 or 2 Europa performances. So I'll give him sort of an 8, I think, and because he set himself high standard. And it's I like for him to perhaps be more visible when we're playing the top 6 teams. I think that'll be great when we're playing the big boys, because he's definitely got the ability. So just demand the ball. Be a bit like if I was playing in his position, I'd kind of look up to someone like Modric, call for it, be aggressive, pick it up from the back foot and drag your team into it.
Do you think his defensive work rate's got a lot better though, Jazz? Like now?
Yeah.
I noticed that at Liverpool, him and Cresswell together were very good, mate, I must admit.
Yeah, you have to. The standards are so high around the team, and the only players who'll play are the ones who run. I remember David saying that if you're going to want to be in the team, you got to run, mate. Otherwise, you're not playing. So,
do you know a place? I can't remember what game it was. He actually played out on the right, and he was dangerous. I might like to maybe see him drift out there a couple of times. I know. Do you know, like if not touch what it doesn't, but if Bowen needs a rest or something, maybe
I think that
chuck
was
him
against
out
Man United.
I think
when he scored.
I would like to see him because he's proved this season that he can. We know he can shoot with his left as well. So even if they cut him inside, and then his right foot is even more dangerous. So yeah, that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, I want him to follow players like Banyun, Berkovic, Bishop, call for the ball, dictate the play, do those defense splitting passes. I'd love to see a bit more of that from him. I think, yeah.
I 100% agree with you, I really do. Moving on to this man, Jarrod Bowen, who I think, to me, is getting better and better. I think he looks faster, sharper. He's got a new bird in his life that's making him have a bit more step. Do you know what I mean? Jazz, I'll start off with you, mate. Jarrod Bowen, what's your rating for him so far this season?
Yeah, again, he's one of those players who's played a lot of games. Very, very hard-working, runs himself into the ground, and obviously Klopp keeps mentioning him, and he did to kind of wind everyone up before the game. He's got to be 9 for me again. I mean, he just keeps improving these players every year. And again, we don't realise how good they are till imagine you're an Arsenal, Spurs, or that fan looking at our team and squad, and I would definitely want someone like that in my team. You look at the Tottenham midfield, I mean, he'd walk into a very good player. And again, I was a little bit annoyed why perhaps Southgate overlooked him again in the squad. But yeah, that's fine. He'll rest and he'll get in there eventually, I think. But yeah, 9 for me. I think really, really good, very important player, and we are so lucky and to have him in our team. I think, yeah.
100%, mate. Andy, what's your rating on Jared Bowen?
Yeah, 9 for me. Yeah, like everyone keeps saying in the comments as well, he's getting better and better. We were saying briefly off air, I think he will go on a run where he'll get like 6 in 4 or something like that, where he'll terrorize people. His work rate is just ridiculous. I've never seen anyone track back so much. He's always looking behind him. If he sees anyone in trouble, But the one thing I will say is, obviously, he proved that at Liverpool, but I knew he always had that in his locker, he's running with the ball. So he's not the quickest player on the pitch, but he can run quick with the ball as well. Do you know what I mean? He can go one way or the other. But yet again, David Moyes is a genius at getting these players and turning them into workhorses. So yeah, a 9 for me.
I agree. I think he's looked absolutely first class. He really has. But moving on to this man, Mikel Antonio scored a rocket last night. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. It's one of the best goals Antonio's ever scored in his life. Andy, I'll start off with you, mate. What's your thoughts on Mikel Antonio so far this season? And I know you're smiling because you know that it's polarising. So what's your rating, mate?
You're going to be surprised, mate. I'm still actually going to give him an 8. Because he should be having... I know I've just checked there. He's got 4 assists and 7 goals, but in my opinion, he should be on double figures already. The amount of chances he's missed, and we've been quite fortunate that they've not really cost us so far this season. His hold-up play's been outstanding again. Obviously, the new things we're doing on the training pitch, obviously, touch wood, he's not picked up any injuries, but I don't know. There's something still not quite there for me, and it's a concern. I think it might just be the fact that he knows he's not got no competition, and he knows he can have a 6 out of 10, and he's playing the following game. So until another striker comes in and starts pestering, I still think we'll be in that. If he stays fit, I think he'll get over 20 plus goals in all competitions, easy. But it should be higher than that for me.
Yeah, I actually agree. Really do. I think he should. Sometimes he goes drifting in games. He drifts out to the left, to the right, and sometimes we're screaming at him from the stands. If you're over there or you're watching it on the TV, get in the middle, Antonio. What you're doing, going left and right. But I do agree with what you're saying, 100%. Jazz, what's your rating for Mikel Antonio?
I have to give him a 9 because he's the third highest goal scorer in the Premier League, I think. And if you look back in his career and his life, I think it's probably getting there. He's in his form of his life, I think. So you've got to give him that credit. But I definitely agree with Andy where we watch it live and I'm pulling my hair out. His positional sense is just not there. And I just remember I'm watching the game with my son and we're attacking and I'm looking for him. Where are you? I can't. And I'm like, has he gone off the pitch? And he's in no rush to get back. He's dozing around the halfway line. I'm thinking, what are you doing? And then when they've got the ball, he doesn't press like Kane and Son. He will not press their back four. So press them. Harass them. I don't want him having 2 minutes on the ball at the back because that's where the attack starts from. So I don't know whether he's got that energy or not. And sometimes after 3 minutes, he's blowing. I'm like, are you all right? What's up with you? But fortunately, we're such a good team. And he has those where first half he's terrible. And then he gets a goal in the second half. And then we're singing his praises. And then, including myself, I forget about half the game where I don't know what he's doing. Really odd player.
Newcastle's the best game, Jazz.
Oh, Newcastle's the best first half. Oh,
and then he just turns it up, gets an assist and a goal. Why is he not making them runs like what he done at Newcastle? That's where he should be. And he should be deep and running in behind at late runs, and no one can catch him.
And what stood out was that Brentford game with their striker. What's his name? The one you like?
Ivan Toney.
And oh my God, Tony was one of the best players on that pitch. He stood in terms of. I was watching his forward play, and I thought that is what I would like at West Ham. You know, he's playing kind of right on the edges where the defender was. You know, putting pressure, going for every ball, and he just always seemed to be in the right place where you want him, right in the edge of the area. You know, and I know he's not a striker, Antonio. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. We're looking at how many goals he's got, but yeah, Antonio's Antonio. What can we do? There's no other player like him. And I think he's lucky that we do create a lot for him. And he does come, he drifts in and out of games, I think, as well, isn't he? He goes missing and then, yeah.
Talking of Brentford, they're not as, they've had a good start, but the last few games, obviously, they've lost. They're only 4 points off the bottom three.
They're in trouble, mate.
They could be, I know they've got some injuries, but I still think Ivan Toney will be a West Ham player. I've just got that feeling. He likes what we're doing. And Jazz, would that excite you? A front four of Fornells, Bowen, Benrahma, and Toney?
Well, I would have said that perhaps would be difficult, but looking at our start and looking at the new investment coming in, and usually,
if you were that investment, we've got that 40 million. Yeah. Let's just say we've got 40 million. Would you just test Brentford's and bid 40 million for him, Ivan Toney, in January?
I would. 100%. I think he's class.
James, why hasn't he scored more than, is it 2 goals?
I'll tell you what it is with Tony. He's very good at holding the ball up and playing others in. I don't know whether you probably noticed it when West Ham played Brentford at DLS. What he will do, he is a goal threat. He does score goals, but he's a more all-round player for me, and that's why I think he's an absolute ideal replacement for Mikel Antonio, 100%. So, what's your final rating, Jazz? It's a 9 out of 10, yeah, for Antonio?
Yeah, because he's in his form of his life. Despite what we're saying, for him personally, he's playing out of his skin, I think, in terms of natural ability. He's what he is. I don't know how to describe him. Yeah,
I think this will be his last year of him being at this best. Like what Chris said yesterday, all athletes have that 18-month period where they're on fire, and I don't want to sound too negative, but that's what I said. That's what I see happening.
You're right, and if we remember, he was like Andy Carroll. We could not get any of them fit. Never. I mean, I remember Antonio missing a whole season. I think once. Didn't know where he'd gone. So I don't know if it's a bit of luck or I think someone's changed his diet and he's lost some of that.
2 stone lighter he is.
Yeah. So
don't look 2 stone lighter, but
he is. Well, let's move on to this man who's come in, has become our new right back, and I'll start off with Jazz on this one. Ben Johnson, Jazz, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I have to give him an 8 because he hasn't played a lot of games, but when he has played, he's playing. He surprised me. I thought at the beginning of the season send him on loan. I just could not see any consistency in him. But then when I thought about it, how could he if he's only coming in here and there, 20 minutes there, 10 there, get taken out of the game again, and then you play on perhaps he's not his preferred position. But to have that confidence of that goal against Villa and then against Liverpool, just look better and better every minute as the Liverpool game progressed. And Liverpool are one of the top 2-3 teams in the world. I mean, there's so much ability there, isn't there? But yeah, admittedly, I didn't see it before. But yeah, he's kept Kefal out the team, who's a cult hero of the team, and I could never thought that. So I have to give him a really good rating of 8. That he's totally shocked me, And long may that carry on, Yeah, homegrown as well. Yeah, we love one of those. Yeah.
Andy, what's your thoughts on Ben Johnson, mate?
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. Excuse me, sorry. The amount of clean sheets he's kept, it's been world class. Shown maturism. He's acting like he's not a youngster no more, which I think last year he sort of did lack in a couple of things. But like you said, he wasn't playing in his natural position. I'll give him. I'll give him an 8. I think he's matured well. And when was the last time? Well, you can even include Fredericks on that situation. The fact that we've got 3 decent right backs at the club, which is unheard of, because before you could probably say Ngakia. He looked promising. Lucas Neal was probably our last decent right back because Zabba was past it. He done his job, but probably Lucas Neal was probably our right until we had Sufal in there. Really.
What position did Zabaleta play? Was he right back or was he left back?
Yeah, Zabba was right back, but he was a good servant, but his pace went 2 years before we even signed him.
You could tell he was Rolls Royce in his time. You could tell, you just tell those players just create space, but he had gone by then. I think, yeah. Great pro.
I must admit, if for me, Ben Johnson is the key. We've got to sign him up. I think he's another one who needs to be signed up, sealed, delivered.
He's triggered the deal, but I think that's what X said on his podcast a couple of weeks ago. So that's been agreed. It's just because of we obviously want to give him a longer contract. So I think that's what's holding it up. So
yeah, so that's good news on that front. Moving on to Craig Dawson, who has come in at the start of the season against Newcastle. He come on against Liverpool. He's come on a sub a few times in the Premier League. He's played mainly in Europa League, but I've tried to keep this as the Prem. But for the time he's come on and done a job, what is your ratings on Craig Dawson, Andy?
Actually, I'm going to give him a 7 because I'm taking the first few games before Man United. He's been outstanding. No, before them he wasn't great, but since then he's come on. Last 10 minutes of games, Moyes has brought him on, especially Tottenham. What springs to mind? He comes on there, does it? Obviously, the last game, Liverpool comes on. An hour still to play. They didn't have a sniff. But for me, as we mentioned earlier, I would love to see Diop next to Zuma, but I still feel I think Dawson can't play 5 games in a row no more. He can only play the odd. So, but for what you said, yeah, I'll give him a 7.
7 out of 10 for Andy. Jazz, what's your rating on Dawson, mate, for what he's done this season?
I'm in a generous mood. I'll give him 8. Yeah, purely because again, just keeps surprising me. He's playing probably one of the best football of his career, and like David Moyes, he took a lot of knocks before he came in. People are just killing him before he stepped in the door. I'm like, come on, mate. He's a professional. He'll be a good squad player, good person to be around the ground, and again, he's done more than that. And I think League Cup Man United, I think, was okay performance, and Liverpool, I was worried. I thought, God, he hasn't got any pace. Salah's gonna, it's gonna struggle, but he's one of those in anything in the air like Zuma, you can't beat Dawson, and threat on set pieces, and someone was saying that he's really captain material in the background. You don't know, around the dressing room, he really is, gives it and keeps it together. So I've got to give him 8 because he's not really played for any big clubs in his life, has not really been visible anywhere, and what are we, joint second? So he's going through a roller coaster like us, and I bet he didn't imagine it. And he's not quite as old as we think. He's only just 31, I think. Some people think he's 33, 34. He's not. And yeah, he's a good lad. Grafting, isn't he? Good lad. Yeah, give him 8.
8 for Craig Dawson. Obviously, Diop hasn't played in the Prem, nor has Noble to a point, and nor has really Yarmolenko. Saying that, Yarmolenko did play. He come on against Manchester United and won us a penalty. So yeah, I'll let you rate him quickly on this one. I'll start off with Jazz. Give me your rating for the time that Yarmolenko's been on the pitch in the Premier League.
I'll give him the same as Flessage, 5. I was just going to give him 5. Yeah, he. Actually, no, I'm going to give him 4. Yeah, because I think he should have more about him than Vlasic and help us a bit more. And he just doesn't seem interested to me. He's one of those that, again, leftovers from Pellegrini that I think David will try to shift as quick as he can. But we've been trying for a couple of windows due to his salary. You just see him at the boxing match and his helicopter photos with he's very good at those type of things, but Ukraine football club and why not? But just don't see it. I just don't see it for us, mate. And I think he did do 1 or 2 glaring misses at United. There was that. What was that? The game where even I would have scored that one. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The one he hit the post, wasn't it? I think that
In the
was Man
League Cup,
United.
in the League Cup game, yeah.
Nah, I mean, out the door the quicker, mate. Thank you. And I'm like just thinking, what did you give us? What, you with us 3 years? 4 I don't know. I didn't see anything, mate. Absolute waste of time.
4 out of 10 for Yarmolenko from Jazz. Andy, give us a rating, mate, for his time on the pitch.
I'm going to give him a 2.
It's a 2 out of 10.
Is that because we like him warming up in the touchline?
Yeah. Shame they don't warm up my side, because I would give him a piece of my mind. No, he's played 7 Premier League games and played 33 minutes, and 33 minutes of pile of shit. Apart from that magic step over for the penalty. I remember Everton. I thought I was like, when he come on, I was like, Moyes might be doing something sensible here. Like, he might first flipping thing. Yeah, I'm going to pick it up and just pass it to Stranger's Coleman. That was great.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to give him a 2. 1 for putting his shirt on, and 2 for getting a penalty for Man United.
That's it. That's exactly what I said. I think I said his shirt, his socks, his boots, and the penalty. I think. But yeah, I totally agree. Yarmolenko. The sooner he's out the door, the better, and we bring someone in who wants to run for starters. Moving on to this man who has impressed me, I must admit, in all aspects of the game, Manuel Lanzini. Andy, I'll start off with you, mate. Obviously, he's been coming on a hell of a lot. He's a different player now, Manuel Lanzini. What's your rating for Manuel Lanzini, mate?
I'm going to give him an 8, actually, mate. The game what springs to mind was obviously, I know this is a Premier League rating as well, but whenever he's come on, he wants the ball, and that's the manner of old. And I think he's just got the his sharpness back. He's never going to be that flair what he was before his cruciate, but no, he's different class. And like what you sort of, I want to see more of Kral. I want to see more of Lanzini, but I think for 2 or 3 games, if we did lose Rice or potato salad, I think he'll come in and do a job. So no, he's one thing I will say is I'd still expect him to score more. He obviously, since he's worldy, we know he can shoot from outside the box. It would just be nice for him to just pick the ball up, but none of us really do. Even Ben Rama's, apart from Antonio, when I catch it next to the away fans in the Trevor Brooking upper, no one else shoots from outside the box.
Yeah, good point. Really, no one really does anymore. But I must admit, I think for me personally, I think he's been pretty decent. Like he's getting in front of Flessage all of a sudden, and this is the argument I've had is that Flessage is a £33.5 million signing, and Lanzini should be on the decline. And Lanzini's, let's be honest, when you went to Southern, Lanzini's coming on before him, and yeah, it's interesting.
I think it's loyalty as well, which you don't normally see with Moyes. Obviously, when Moyes was here the first time, he was probably one of our better players. I remember that the 2 goals he got at Everton on his last game, at home, when he scored that. Obviously, the Burnley game, in my opinion, if Manu didn't go off injured in that Everton game, West Ham would be playing Champions League football now. I think that's how key he was for them games. But fair play to him again, mate. He's come back after that injury, and he's back.
So what's your final rating, Andy, for Manuel Lanzini?
An 8 for me, please, mate.
8 out of 10 for Manuel Lanzini. And that has come to the end, gentlemen. But I've got one more rating, because obviously there's a couple of other players, but they just can't be rated because they haven't spent enough time.
I've got to give my Lanzini rating, ain't I think.
I thought you already done it.
Have I done it?
No, it was me. I went first, I think.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Jazz, you get your Lanzini rating right now. So. Take it away.
I'll give it a 7. Yeah, he's ticking. He's ticking
I thought that's what he was just going to say. Yeah, 7. Along that's it.
Ticking along. Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah. Are you surprised though, Jazz? Before we move on to the final rating.
Before he's finished, I would have put him in the bin. Him, Yemo, Ben Johnson would have shoved that on loan. So I do get things wrong. I'm human, you know.
But are you surprised though, Jazz, that he's sort of getting on the pitch a lot more now? Because let's be honest, we have got Flessage sitting on the bench, and
Moyes loves him deep down. Yeah, you know? And he did say that. I know I can't get much out of him, and the board have said basically we're stuck with him. You just, if you can, please just do what you can with him. And his family life is very settled in a local area. And I think whatever we say, I mean, UK in the world is one of the best countries to live in, especially if you've come from South America. It's very turmoil, politically up and down, inflation, violence, crime. So this is a great city to bring your kids up in, an education. So you got to think about those things as well. So I think he is settled, and God, we can't forget, like 4 years ago, was he our best player or up thereabouts, wasn't he? So he's a West Ham type player. He's classy, isn't he? He's a West Ham player, And long may it carry on. It's a small career, and we don't want to remember players like if he suddenly ended now, we wouldn't remember perhaps the good things he done, especially the kids that come to the games now. They haven't seen what we did in the Payet season, the one after. So yeah, long may it carry on. Again, you can tell he's a decent guy. He's not a troublemaker. Good guy to have around the ground and the club. So yeah, long may it carry on.
He speaks well of the club still. When he's interviewed, I think it was after the Aston Villa game, when he had done an interview on the website. He was like, "Man, you got on. You was," and he went, "Yeah." Well, he said, when I'm called upon, but the team's playing well, and I think that's what it is. We've got rid of Haller. We've got rid of them sort of players who walk around with the big ego, and it's a proven thing again.
Yeah, nice man.
He's a top lad, mate, and I'm glad we've kept him here for another season. I think he deserves to stay at West Ham more than others. But finally, the final rating of it all is this man, David Moyes. The Messiah, Jazz. I will start off with Jazz on this one first, because Jazz said it and had a lot of stick when he come back. People who don't know, Jazz was supporting Moyes from the start and said, give him a chance, he'll come good. And a lot of people was like, why we signed David Moyes? Jazz, you definitely got this one right, son.
There's actually a video in October. So he came in December?
Yeah, his first game was Bournemouth at home on New Year's Day.
Yeah. So there's a video in October between me and Tim from American Hammers TV, because we knew Pellegrini is sliding. And I said him, and Tim wanted to kill me. Tim's like, what? What, David? Get off, fuck off, So yeah, I mean, I just thought it's a sensible move for us. Right club, very similar to Everton, and one of the old school managers left in the game. So I think the right man for the right club at the right time, I think, and that's a big thing, because you can't just plunk Mourinho at any other club and think he's going to win the league, or it doesn't happen. You've got to be a right fit, and I'm not saying there's other better managers in the league, because they are, but for us, David is one of the best. That's the thing, It's got to be a good fit, I think, and you can tell from some of the bigger clubs struggling, they can't get the bigger guy. For me, yeah, amazing, and long may it carry on. And the backroom staff, Rice, always says good things about him. We're in a good place with him, I think, and hopefully the new owners or the new shareholder will give him more money and more support. And David obviously, Rob Newman, hopefully he helped hire him, so we'll get the scouting network, improve the training ground slowly. So yeah, he's kind of doing it and getting more and more young people in the team, because he does bring a lot of young people in, and he did that at Everton as well. So yeah, all round very, very good, and scoring goals, playing good football, something I think a lot of us didn't think under him. We knew he'd be well organised and drilled, but whether we'll be scoring this many goals and playing the way we do, none of us could have dreamed it, I think. So completely turned it around. Yeah, they're really happy with him, mate. 10 out of 10, by the way. 10 out of 10.
Jones says, I agree with you, Jazz. You were the lone voice on the West Ham channels in regards of David Moyes, and how right you was, mate. Andy, give us your rating of Mr. Moyes.
I'm going to give him a 9, and that's not. I'm going to give him a 9, but if it was Moyes and his staff, there'll be a 10, if that makes sense. If we're just voting Moyes, because obviously they come as a package. But for me, he has been great, but there's just been a couple of times when I've really wanted the sub to come on, like the Brentford game to be. He sort of reminded me of a bit of his arrogance, if that makes sense. But no, everything else, mate, him and his staff, they deserve so much credit. And do you know what I love is I'm going into work. There's a mixture of fans, obviously some of them from Tottenham and everyone, even the Arsenal fans, they're saying that we don't want to play you, even though we're starting to pick up points. We don't. And when was the last time we said that? And what I love is home and away. Moyes appreciates it as well. Is the David Moyes and Claret Blue Army chant? It really does. It really does go a long way, and it sounds like very little, but he is a part of the club now. It's not just we are West Ham's Claret, but it's David Moyes' Claret Blue Army, and I think that's credit to him.
I remember the fans after the Zagreb game. He got a bit embarrassed. He's like, "Stop it now! Stop it now!" They're just carrying on for a whole hour, and then the celebrations after the Liverpool third goal. I thought that was great. I keep watching.
You can imagine it, innit? For a whole hour, just constant. Like
David just going like that, like trying to do a press conference, and they kept like, going like that. Yes.
Yeah, it's like we probably walks out of his house or something, or his flat, or wherever he is, and he's got someone chanting it to him. But listen, I think he's been absolutely first class. I must admit, I wasn't a fan when he come back. I thought, what's going on here? But he's proved me wrong. I must admit, I think he's building a team of workers. And West Ham don't do workers. Like, for all the years that I've watched West Ham do work well one game, lose three, and that's. Yeah. But now it's win three, and we might drop points in one. So I think he's been absolutely first class. I rated him 10 out of 10. I think also what we've also got to understand is what he's had to work with budget wise. He hasn't had a lot of dough, and he needs to be trusted now with money, in my opinion.
I still don't see him going out and spending £60 million on one player. He's going to be spending his money wisely. He is penny wise. He treats his money like himself, and we've proved it. You spend 20 million on Suchek, 20 million on Bowen. What we've spent on, we could have got a foot one of each twice.
Yeah.
For what we've paid for Haller and Anderson, we could have got another two of them.
And the thing is, I agree there, but I also think if he had the money, he would use it wisely, but he'd also buy in the right areas. Like, I think there's been many a times where we've been buying players to shoehorn them into positions where, let's be honest, you don't do that. You know what I mean?
The difference is now is David Sullivan was going to agents saying, what players can we get? Now it's the agents ringing West Ham saying, we've got players who want to come to you.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree there. I really do. And that has been it, gentlemen. That has been your Premier League player ratings and views so far, 11 games in. I'll start off with Jazz. Final thoughts, Jazz, and looking forward to the Wolves game, mate.
Yeah, it's been a really good start. We're still in the League Cup. Europa, looking like we're going to go through as the winners. I think we are joint second, but I more look at that we're 6 clear of the team 7th, I think, which is that provides more comfort to me. What more could I ask for, really? Can't really. I was just hoping that Flessage would have done a bit more for me. I love new players coming into the club, and that would help the current crop, And okay, it hasn't happened yet. Fingers crossed. So that was just a little mark, a little blip. But then Zuma's made up for it. So yeah, I'm very happy. Yeah, very happy.
Very happy from Jazz. Jazz, quickly, give me a prediction for Saturday.
Again, got to be careful, but we did turn them over a couple of times. At least did a double last season, like Leicester, I think. So yeah, I think 2-1 West Ham, hopefully 2-1. Yeah, I think we graft hard. We're very good away from home, as kind of we've seen. So 2-1, hopefully carry that on. Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Andy, final thoughts from you, mate, and your prediction for Saturday.
Oh, mate, it's a great time to be a West Ham fan, and like it just proves like season tickets now. The away games like Arsenal and Burnley, that season ticket holder points are only going down to like 17 points now. It's mad. Like everyone wants to go, and I do think we're going to win a trophy. I'm not too sure which one, but I've really got a feeling that one of the trophies we're going to win. And obviously, we asked Chris yesterday what one would you want, and for me, I know you get the extra Champions League for winning Europa, but for me, it's the FA Cup. It's an English Cup tradition. What a way for Mark Noble to retire of lifting that trophy. And my final prediction for Wolves. I don't think we'll concede this one. I know Jimenez is on form, but if no one else is clicking, he's not going to get the possession. So I'm going for a 3-0 West Ham win and my mate Zuma, Bowen, and I'm going to go for Ben Rama. Just going to get the goals.
Well, let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. I want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, please go and subscribe to West Ham Reunited. They're doing some good stuff over there. Go and check them out. Subscribe to all their stuff. Follow Jazz on Twitter. Follow Andy on Twitter. It goes a long way. It helps grow their channel, and it goes round YouTube basically.
Yeah.
So
and of course, we're a huge fan of James, and James is a regular contributor on the show as well. And when, like you said, when we get people like James on, that's what makes our job a lot easier, Jazz, doesn't it? That's
definitely. Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah.
Because I don't shut up. That's what. But that's what it is. But listen.
No. But like you said, we're all there for the passion, and you're like. I think the difference is you're like me and Jazz. We just say it how it is. I know sometimes a few people sit, but if someone's playing shit, they're playing shit. We say, do you know what I mean? We don't, and I think that's the way to be, mate.
Yeah, I'm too fat to sit on a fence, so you know what I mean, it's either left or right for me. So yeah,
but before you go, this will make you laugh. Jazz went, yeah, that's it. I'm eating healthy now, and he went, yeah, I had a doner kebab for lunch before he started his diet. I think we're all the same.
God, well, they make me hungry. You know what I mean? But, no. Listen, I want to thank everyone who's been watching today. Also, I reached the 200 mark on subscribers. I really do appreciate it to everyone. It goes a long way. It shows that what I'm doing is right and people are liking it. Obviously, I want to thank the boys. They've helped me, along with my partner, who's helped me also, who's started to put some stuff out there to sort of get me out there. So, yeah, I'll be back again soon doing something else soon. Obviously, Wolves at the weekend preview is up. Go and check it out. And I will probably give an after thought on Saturday night late. So, yeah, go and check it out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. Take care and all the best.